Good morning. Welcome to WNY News. I'm David Coleman reporting from New York. Donald Trump was issued a Mae West letter from the grand jury in Manhattan to testify. Jenna Ellis censured for amplifying election lies. What is going on with Speaker McCarthy and Ms. Green? Can Trump be sued for inciting his supporters to storm the Capitol on January 6? Why the Republican House plotting to investigate the January 6 panel? We want to begin with this breaking news. Former President Donald Trump took to his Truth Social platform to call for an immediate release of his supporters from prison. Many of his supporters who stormed the Capitol pleaded guilty, and some were charged with seditious conspiracy to overthrow the United States government. Trump also called on his GOP cronies to investigate the January 6 Select Committee. He promised if he's elected as president, he will pardon all those who are in prison for attacking the Capitol on January 6. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office recently signaled Trump's lawyers that he could face criminal charges for his role in the payment of $130,000 hush money to a former porn star, Stormy Daniels. It's the strongest indication yet that prosecutors are nearing an indictment of the two-times impeached former president, Donald Trump. However, the former president was issued a Mae West letter to appear before the grand jury next week to testify. The grand jury has been hearing evidence regarding the potential case. That is why it's offering Mr. Trump the chance to testify. Senior investigator Louise Cook has that story.
This is a big step taken by the grand jury to invite Donald Trump to hear his testimony. It's almost always indicate an indictment is imminent because it would be unusual for DA Alvin Bragg to notify a potential defendant without bringing charges against him. What is a Mae West letter? This is a letter which simply means the grand jury wants Trump to come and see them. By receiving this letter asking Trump to testify is a sure sign that the grand jury investigation is just about complete. According to New York law, a potential defendants have the right to answer questions in the grand jury before they are indicted, but sometimes they rarely testify, and we believe Mr. Trump is likely to decline the grand jury offer. Now, why was Trump invited by the grand jury to testify, but not subpoenaed by the court to testify? Well, Donald Trump wasn't subpoenaed because, when you get a subpoenaed, it's a court order which will compel you to come in and testify. However, the target you are investigating has their Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination, and he can just go into the grand jury and plead the Fifth. That is why you can't subpoena him, but sometimes they're invited. But why should you invite them? Well, the prosecutors want to give the defendant an opportunity to try to convince the grand jury that he or she didn't commit any crimes, so they shouldn't indict him or her. Trump's former attorney and fixer, Michael Cohen, paid the porn star Stormy Daniels $130,000 shortly before the 2016 presidential election to cover up Trump's crimes, and was later reimbursed by Trump. Prosecutors in Manhattan began investigating the matter in 2018, and Cohen, who pleaded guilty to federal campaign finance charges for his role in the hush money payments and served prison term, has spoken with them and is expected to testify before the grand jury. Will District Attorney Alvin Bragg have the gut to indict Trump and send him to prison for his crimes, or he will let him off the hook? Let justice be done to all men. I'm Louise Cook, for WNY News in New York.
Last week, Jenna Ellis, an attorney for Donald Trump who helped drive his false claims about the 2020 election results, has admitted in a Colorado disciplinary proceeding that she misrepresented evidence at least 10 times during Trump's frantic bid to subvert his defeat. Ms. Ellis made these misrepresentations on Twitter and on various television programs, including Fox Business, MSNBC, Fox News, and Newsmax. For examples, Jenna Ellis told lies like that Hillary Clinton didn't concede the 2016 election. Ellis claimed Trump's team had evidence of a coordinated effort in all of these states to transfer votes either from Trump to Biden, to manipulate the ballots, to count them in secret. Ellis also said on Fox that Trump won in a landslide. And Ms. Ellis also claimed the Trump team found 500,000 illegal votes had been cast in Arizona, which were all lies. Jenna Ellis is the first attorney of the group to acknowledge she misrepresented the evidence of fraud. Among her admitted misrepresentations, misrepresentation is a fancy word for lie. Ellis is the latest Trump attorney involved in the former president's post-election efforts to face discipline. Rudy Giuliani had his license temporarily suspended and is awaiting a final ruling from a bar discipline proceeding in Washington, D.C. John Eastman is preparing for disciplinary proceedings in California. And Jeffrey Clark has temporarily delayed bar discipline proceedings against him in Washington while attempting to bring the fight into federal court. This is WNY News. I'm David Coleman in New York. Many people are second-guessing what is actually going on between Speaker Kevin McCarthy and Marjorie Taylor Green. According to the latest news, Mr. McCarthy recently handed the gavel over to Ms. Green to preside it over the House as Speaker pro tempore on Wednesday, a development that drew fierce criticism. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, the California representative, temporarily handed the gavel to Green, a Donald Trump-devoted extremist who in recent weeks has called for national divorce, splitting red states and blue states. Nathan Miller from our sister station LBC reports.
Marjorie Taylor Green played a pivotal role in McCarthy winning his drawn-out bid for Speaker. After his victory, McCarthy reportedly declared his political loyalty to Green, saying he'd never leave her and would always take care of her. Critics shuddered at the conspiracy theory endorsing fanatics sitting in the Speaker's chair. The bond these two have formed is looking fishy, and some critics are wondering if this is just an ordinary friendship or a romantic relationship. I'm Nathan Miller reporting.
The Justice Department recently said that Donald Trump can be sued by Capitol Police officers and by member of Congress whose lives he endangered by inciting his angry mob on January 6 to storm the Capitol. The DOJ took the position to inform the ex-president that he doesn't have immunity, not absolute immunity or any other kind of immunity, against being sued for what he did on and around January 6, 2021. However, Trump is arguing that as president, he can incite people to while can't do a damn thing about it. He is claiming an absolute immunity, meaning he can do whatever he wants, including inspiring people to attack the Capitol, and he can't be sued for that. The Department of Justice dismissed Donald Trump's claim of absolute immunity in its court filing by saying, quote, "No part of a president's official responsibilities includes the incitement of imminent private violence. By definition, such conduct plainly falls outside the president's constitutional and statutory duties." End quote. This statement is important because it helps pave the way for a criminal indictment against the ex-president. Cecilia Johnson reporting for WNY News in Washington.
House Republicans are plotting revenge on the Select Committee investigation findings of the January 6, 2021, insurrection, as the GOP weighs a broader effort to relitigate some of Donald Trump's biggest election grievances. It's an idea that has garnered support among allies of the former president. But House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, now Speaker of the House. Prior to becoming Speaker, Mr. McCarthy has refused to comply with a subpoena from the Select Committee during their investigation and has long held that the panel lacks the authority to haul in private citizens. Is cool to the idea, according to a Republican source familiar with his thinking. If you like this video, please share, like and subscribe to this channel today. Thanks for watching.